Okay, I got it. About time. Okay. Still the screen is blurry. Okay. Y'all ready? Okay. This is my persuasive speech on global hunger. Who here can relate to what it's like to wake up in the morning hungry and then lay down for bed at night still hungry with no meals? Not the kind of hungry that we have when we want a snack or have a taste for something specific, but the kind of hungry that inhibits you from living an active, healthy life. Some people may be shocked that this type of hunger actually exists around the world, and may be even more curious to know why or how. People may wonder how many people suffer from hunger. They may want to know that 1 in 8 people go to bed hungry every night. It may be hard to imagine, but 842 million people suffer from hunger around the world. If something does not change and the numbers continue to increase, we could possibly see over 2 billion people who need food by 2050. Hunger is not just missing one meal. It's a crisis that has almost 1 billion people suffering. Growing up, I always had a soft spot for those in need, and the number of those people were only growing. There are people in need who need our love, help, and support to become healthy individuals again. Global hunger is a problem that affects a staggering amount of the population, but can be overcome by learning why we should help, emphasizing the importance and benefits of acting on this issue, and ultimately acting to demolish hunger around the world. The key factor is to recognize that hunger affects all of us, but there are those that believe that the problem exists on such a large scale that their efforts will not help. This could not be farther from the truth. Although some of you feel that it is not a problem to be addressed on an individual level, this is where we need to begin to make a difference. Already, through the efforts of individuals who have taken a stand to abolish hunger, have we seen a decline in even the worst deprived nations from 1990 to 2016. The efforts of few have indicated a movement that has encompassed many to act and fight global hunger. If you are one that does not think that your help is needed, rationalize, even on a humanistic level, how ethical it is to help those in need. Consider this quote by George McGovern. Pay attention to the hungry, both in this country and around the world. Pay attention to the poor. Pay attention to our responsibilities for the world peace. We are our brother's keeper. Realize that even though you may not be hungry, or you might not know someone specifically that is, it is still a real problem. Understand that global hunger exists in the countries with food surpluses and not shortages of food where many hungry people live. How morally wrong would it be for us to deny these people the right to a better quality of life? How ethically wrong is it for us to turn the other cheek and not recognize the problem, because it does not affect us specifically? This is why we should help. We might not be able to make monumental changes in the beginning, but in the words of Confucius, provided on Goodreads.com, the man who moves the mountain begins by carrying away small stones. We need to get involved with carrying away the small stones. We all need to understand that we cannot sit back and wait for the next generation to fix this problem. This task falls upon our generation to ensure that poverty does not grow and reduce the chance of a brighter future. It is crucial to know that we are the change for the world. We are the change the world needs to help abolish global hunger. So if you are a non-believer, if you think you cannot breach the surface of world hunger, remind yourself that we must try to succeed. Become a believer that we can make a difference and that united we can help and end global hunger. To help you better understand why it is crucial to act on this issue, let's discuss the importance and benefits of our actions. One of my goals is to get you to understand the importance of how global hunger affects each and every one of us. I would urge you to rationalize and realize that hunger is not a problem that faces other countries. It affects some in our own neighborhoods. The person right next door, a neighbor, or maybe even a close friend, a child at your kid's school. Hunger is devastating in general, but when children are affected by hunger, they cannot grow to their full potential. The cycle begins with the parents that are stricken by poverty, and not only are they unable to feed themselves, but are unable to feed their children. And to make matters worse, because they are malnourished from hunger, they are not able to perform physical labor. If they cannot perform, they cannot break the cycle. So the poverty cycle deepens within each generation. Just imagine for a moment, what if we could break the cycle? What if we could end hunger? Therefore, giving the adults the tools they need to become a part of society again and be able to feed themselves and their children. These people suffer chronically, not just for short terms, and are recurrently sick and develop disabilities from lack of nutrition. According to Mercy Corps 2015, recurring illnesses and disabilities yield low productivity. If the cycle is actually broken, the entire world would reap the benefits. People would enjoy a longer, healthier lifespan, which in turn provides society with capable, functioning humans to work and build our economy. As provided by World Poverty Facts 2015, if half of the world's hungry were capable, functioning parts of society, the world's cash flow would increase by 120 billion each year. Think of the benefits this increase in finances would mean to our economy. Given the reasons why we need to help end hunger, let's discuss ways in which we can become active and ways to fight against the hunger. Key ways in which we can aid in the fight against hunger is to first understand hunger by learning about the causes of hunger and then eventually taking action. As stated by World Hunger Education 2016, to act we must try to influence public policy, contribute financially, or work directly with those who are affected by this. An extensive list of organizations that are fighting to reduce hunger was provided by the World Hunger Education. The three key organizations that we can get involved with are Bread for Hunger, Results, the Food Research and Action Center, which stands for PRAC. Bread for the World is a national Christian organization that seeks justice for the world's hungry people, including people in the United States, by lobbying Congress and other U.S. decision makers. Results is an international citizen lobbying group whose purpose is to create political will to end hunger and poverty. In the United States, its volunteers have campaigned for programs that combat domestic poverty, as well as for the international programs such as micro-enterprise lending. The Food Research and Action Center, FRAC, is a leading national organization working to improve public policies to end hunger and malnutrition in the United States. Founded in 1970 as a public interest law firm, FRAC is a nonprofit and public policy center that serves as a hub of the anti-hunger network of thousands of individuals and agencies across the country. It's also a non-membership organization, so anybody can help and not be obligated. There are several other ways that in organizations that can be involved in contributing financially. Some of those would include Freedom from Hunger, Feeding America, and also a church world service. Having been provided with a few of the organizations that fight hunger, it must be plain to see that getting involved and taking action is actually very simple. The lists provided are only a handful of the organizations that strive to fight hunger and to build a stronger nation through the support and actions of people like you and I. The resources are there. We need only to take a step forward. With each and one of us takes a step to fight hunger, the movement becomes stronger, and we stand a greater chance of defeating poverty and hunger. Now that we have learned that global hunger is a crisis that deserves to be talked about and dealt with, we must feel empowered to do so. We must act to rid the suffering of people around the world. We must never take advantage of a meal. Remember those in need next time you sit down to enjoy a delicious breakfast, lunch, or dinner. No man, woman, or child deserves to suffer from hunger. We can do something about it. We can act to help to stop this disease. The world deserves the benefits that ending global hunger will bring. The problem is solvable. We can be the difference these people need. I hope you feel inspired by the change that we all can make together. I hope you feel moved to be a part of the actual change. Remember, we can make a difference. We have the power to stop global hunger, so let's do it now. Okay. And these are my references. Okay. That was 12 minutes, so that was probably well over 8.
Yeah, about 4 minutes.
I mean, did it have to be?
It needed to be 6 to 8, but
I thought you told me this one was the long one that was supposed to go to 12.
the next one is like 15.